should change it to Bahasa because of all the problems that the kids are facing too, especially the rural area kids, English standard in our country is not as how we wanted it to be. Teachers, they can't speak English, one. When they explain terms, everything is all upside down. They don't have a proper systematic techniques to teach English, Our system of English, nothing has been taught. It's just straight go to workbook and just memorize and do what the teacher says, And if you ask the kids nowadays what they're reading in English books, do you understand what they're reading? No. It's just memorizing. Only know how to answer question. So can you imagine that being English, maths and science, they cannot understand the questions, you see? When they can't understand the question, how do you expect them to answer? Because English, the first thing they have not mastered it, they have to master the language very deeply. And then when you translate it to science and math, very easy they can catch up. Very easy they can understand the question. There should be a problem because maths, they're all by formula. Science is all by, all these experiments and everything. So it's fun activities. They shouldn't be facing problems with all these activities. It's just the language has given the difficulties to them. So now my question is, I think it's very sad they went back to Bahasa, but no choice. We have to look at the kids who come from this area, see about 50% if we are being unfair to them, is rural area kids, and then where do they stand? Where's the chances in their chances to gain things from the world, you see? So we have to look into that. If you want to bring it back to English, then English has to be very strong in their, in their command. They have to be very good in English. We have to bring in good English teachers in. We have to start investing in bringing foreigners, to teach English as the beginning step. And then when you change, everything goes smoothly. So the kids won't struggle. Adults can just change this, change that, change everything. But the kids are the one who are facing a lot of problems, and at the end of the day, they are in the losing point. So we have to look at the kids' point of view. What's the easiest manner for them to understand? One, get them to do it. Fine, when they are mastering it, good. Then transfer to any language you like.
Anak-anak saya, diorang tak menghadapi masalah. Ada apa yang kami buat, kita gunakan bahasa Inggeris banyak di rumah. Tapi mungkin tak ada juga pada yang di luar bandar, sebab apa yang mereka lakukan di rumah tu tak sama seperti kita di bandar ni. Jadi saya rasa pada pihak-pihak yang tertentu tu patut beri galakan ataupun motivasi pada guru-guru yang di luar bandar tu untuk lebih nak memajukan murid-murid yang di luar bandar tu lah. Jadi saya setuju kalau teruskan dalam bahasa Inggeris, sebab kan senang bila bahasa Inggeris nak tukar ke bahasa Melayu semula. Saya tahu bila sekolah menengah itu dah lain, pemikiran mereka makin berkembang. Jadi saya rasa guru-guru harus berusaha lah untuk membantu anak murid ni. Kalau di luar bandar, pihak masalah kementerian harus beri bantuan pada motivasi, adakan khusus yang lebih pada guru-guru untuk membantu murid-murid ni. Sebab terletak pada guru tu untuk membantu, bukan melepas tangan gitu je. Ya, di rumah mungkin tak ini. Contohnya, anak saya belajar Mandarin. Kami tak berbahasa Mandarin, tapi dari sekolah, dengan kawan, diorang akan ini. Di sekolah diorang patut digalakkan diorang berbahasa Inggeris. Dengan itu boleh membantu dalam apa. Kadang-kadang ada budak ni membaca tak ada masalah. Kadang ada masalah menulis. Di situ guru harus melihat untuk membantu mereka. Jangan lepas tangan bila kata, oh kerja kami banyak, tak boleh pandang itu. Sebab sebagai guru kita menurunkan ilmu. Jadi kita harus cari ilmu itu untuk bantu murid itu. Motivasi daripada pihak atas untuk guru-guru itu. Asal jangan putus asa, kata banyak kerja. Sebenarnya benda tu tanggungjawab kita. Kita sekolah, kita mengajar untuk apa? Untuk melepaskan waktu di tangga je. Tentu kita nakkan yang baik. Pada saya teruskan dalam bahasa Inggeris. Anak-anak kita ni takkan kita nak tinggalkan satu legasi yang menurun, merosot gitu. Kita mesti nak mahukan mereka maju. Kita nakkan kebaikan untuk mereka lah. Sebab ini yang kita akan tinggalkan untuk mereka. Jika terus kita ajar dalam bahasa, kita akan banyak ketinggalan. Banyak yang kita tak dapat cari untuk ilmu ni untuk lepaskan mereka lebih berani untuk hadapi masa depan mereka?
Personally, it's a very bad idea because children, especially these days, when they move forward to secondary school and tertiary education, English is the global language and it's much more important, in my opinion. And from my own experience, what we studied in secondary school in Malay did not apply at all when it came to college education and getting a degree and in working life. And Malay is the least used language. Malaysia is moving forward to become a knowledge-based economy, and we want to be the hub for ICT and for science, technology and innovation. And the truth is, the whole world functions in English when it comes to science, technology and innovation. So only us teaching our children Malay is not going to bring them forward, because when they actually choose to specialize in science or technology or maths, anything related to maths, they're going to have to switch and learn a whole new lingo. All the terms, they're going to have to learn it all over again in English. And they're not going to be able to connect what they study in secondary school or primary school to what they're doing in college. So in that terms, I think we are bringing the kids backwards instead of helping them move forward in the coming years. We are not giving the children an opportunity to pick up the language and become better. Instead, we are helping them stick to their traditional, because I speak Malay at home, so therefore I go to school, I must learn everything in Malay. The Prime Minister has announced that the rural areas should have children, the children should come up, pick up computers. We're trying to open up computer centers and do all these kind of things, but it's not fair, if you ask me, to let them just be the way they are instead of helping them and making them master the language so that they can improve. And even to say that we have 100% education system in Malaysia and our children are recognized worldwide when it comes to, doesn't matter whether you're from a rural area, you're from a town child or whatever it is, they must be recognized, and for that they definitely need English.
Parents and the teachers have forgotten that English has become a very important language, and by switching something that has been taught for a few years back into Malay language, it's going to go back and put the education 5, 10, 15 steps backward instead of moving forward. They have not trained the teachers enough to build up their confidence in language. I personally have spoken to a lot of teachers who can't even construct a proper sentence. English should be taught to the teachers first. They should be educated enough first. They should be exposed to the idea that English is an important language. It's not only an international language, it is the business language of the world, it's an economic language of the world. A lot of teachers are very negative about the teaching of science and maths in English. For example, fact, they themselves don't know how to spell words, they don't know how to construct sentences. The government has to do a lot more. Maybe bring back old teachers, retired teachers who have been teaching the English language with such dedication over the years, and bring them back into the education system. Maybe they could train young teachers, new teachers, on the importance of language, and subsequently, build up the country and the language. And because the children are not doing well in school, so they link it that, my child can't learn, it's not a national language, so therefore I don't want to learn. But today, sir, anything that you do revolves around the English language, be it from school, be it in college, in university. What's the point of teaching everything in BM, in primary, secondary level? When the child goes to college and university, everything is back in English. It's the reason why a lot of our graduates who call themselves degree holders come out of university and can't even construct proper sentences. Just look around you with all the companies that employ graduates. When you live in a rural area, you have not been exposed to enough English. They probably don't watch English movies because they don't understand what is being taught. They don't read English books because they don't even know how to spell those individual words. A lorry driver, for instance, he may not find the importance of the English language because he always thinks that his social economic background will lead his children to also be one day a lorry driver. So if the ministry can actually do something about bringing the importance of English to these rural areas and making, say for instance, a lorry driver to understand that, sir, you have done very well in your life to bring up and educate a child. Now let's do something for your child to improvise them, to make sure they do not become what we are. We want always we want our kids to do better than us. So to introduce English have to go down to the grassroots, explain to them the importance, show them what is it important, show them what they can do with something as simple as the English language.